Said tongue in cheek. By the way, so none of your images' names are recorded, completely anonymous. Anyway, friends are checking in. Great to see you. We spend the first 8 or 9 minutes on the back simply letting yoga chitta vritti narodaha. That means letting the wavelengths of the mind slow down. When the wavelengths of the mind slow down, there are things we see that are otherwise invisible to us. It's a good day to be indoors. It's cold and foggy and blustery and allergens, and good day to be safe indoors doing warm self-care, soothing, healing yoga together. Maybe wiggle your legs and your arms out, release some residual tension. It does tend to accumulate. I'm not sure if I said let's take a nice deep breath together, but please let's. The most important resource of life, breath, is unlimited, free, and you can have as much as you want, and so can everybody else. No competition, no agencies established to distribute it evenly. Everybody can have all the breath they want, or you can hold your breath if you want. And just begin to follow your breath into your body. The breath is the doorway in. It's a portal, you might say. Let your eyes roll back a little bit. That little patch of flesh on your forehead that curls up when you worry or fret or concerned about the future, with all the time, that begins to relax, and we experience this wonderful, amazing phenomenon called right here, right now. There's no rush. When we're in a rush, we're trying to be somewhere that we're not, but that's not the case. We're not trying to get somewhere that we're not. We're allowing ourselves to be where we are. Now, maybe the breathing is moving more deeply into our bodies, more down toward bell E button. Now I'll speak some yoga over you. We're going to go into pranamaya kosha, the energy or the feeling layer of the body. That means breathe what you feel and feel what you breathe. If we were trained to do this when we were little kids, we would have assimilated and integrated every day's energy, and none of it would have gotten stuck in our psyche and mind, or much less. So if we do it now, we'll clear it all up. Only takes a couple lifetimes, not a big deal. Two Lifetimes is 2 pages of War and Peace, and if you've ever read that book, it goes on forever. Welcome if you're just cruising in. We're laying on the back doing nothing. You can start doing nothing immediately. Can you simply allow your feelings? You don't have to repress them or evade them or postpone them. You certainly don't have to explain them to a $400 an hour therapist. Your inner self might say, "Thank you, self, for sharing your feelings," and note them. We have the universe's most skilled therapist right inside of us. You can fall asleep if you want. I won't take it personally. You're feeling very, very sleepy. It's Memorial Day weekend. Yay. It's the official start to summer, and we're doing nothing. Okay, now, having moved deeper into our bodies, minds, souls, and spirits, take the biggest inhale of your whole life so far. Fill up the whole thing. Outhale, release the whole story so far. If we let go of the old story, we could conceivably update it, get the software update. We could go from U 12.0 to U 14.0 and just rest in the emptiness of exhaling and letting go of the whole thing so far. We're so convinced we are who we think we are, and such a small fragment. Or as George Harrison said, all the love there that's sleeping. Good. One of the many rituals we engage in Sacred Sunday self-care alliteration class is wiggling of fingers and toes and conjuring fresh feel good, feel God through ourselves. It's a secret. Only tell this to people that you love, that you can conjure in a moment the good mood, the God mood. Good, then arms up to the ceiling, lace your paws, stretch gently up over your head, not the Saturday stretching and retching with Gretchen, but more of a gentle Sunday writhing in bed in your PJs with smile on your face kind of face. Just stretch out. That will release some endogenous dolphins, the molecules of bliss that swim through our nervous system if you're on porpoise. Good, then we might draw our knees in for some knee hugging and very gentle back rolling. Do you get the theme so far? There's There'll be scarce cartwheels and backflips today. If you can't grab your knees, that's okay. Have somebody else grab your knees and just gently roll around on your back a little bit. You don't have to figure anything out in this class. You don't have to promote anything. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to prod anybody. You don't have to promote nothing. You just are being your glorious, amazing selves. Well, certainly there must be more to it than that, Greg. Nope, that's it. Okay, then we might roll up or sit up depending on our proclivity, our amateur acclivity. Now, the first thing I've got to say is what an amazing turnout for Memorial Day. If you haven't seen me or you're tuning in sometime during the week on my exciting new YouTube channel, which has almost 1 million viewers, less 999,990 roughly. It's great to see you. I teach yoga, but mostly I'm just a proponent of raising consciousness for the purpose of making joyful connection with our source. How do you like those apples? So great to see you. We're just hanging out together. Now, I never plan what I'm going to say because then that ruins everything and I kind of get in the way. So maybe we'll just close our eyes and breathe from the tip of our nose, cultivating a calm and peaceful countenance, because peace is a practice, just like playing the piccolo or golfing or anything else. If you don't practice peace, you're kind of crappy at it. Now, if you're a veteran yogi, you like this sitting and calming. If you're just tuning on YouTube accidentally for the first time, it's like, what the hell is this crap? Not doing this. Even if you're a veteran yogi, your mind might be bouncing all over the place. Your mortgage, your kids, your spouse, your lack of spouse, your health, your lack of health. There's so many interesting rabbit holes for the mind to go in. As a famous great yogi once said, you can dig 100 1-foot holes or one 100-foot hole. One will find gold and one will find a lot of not very valuable stuff. Okay, we'll chant Om together if you're watching for the first time. I'm a huge proponent of vibrational, joyful countenancing. Big inhale. Feel that. Hands to our most beautiful hearts. I believe if you go deeply into your heart and I go deeply into mine, we come to a common heart together. We're all one. It's just appearances can be deceiving. Speaking of chanting, let's remember what the famous spiritual philosopher Yogi Berra once said. He said, if you come to the tuning fork in the road, pick it up. By the way, I'll continually attempt to jog you out of your mind. I was hanging out with Greg and I lost my mind is the highest compliment. Boredom kicks in, it starts to get tedious. Your clothes don't fit right now. Your butt's sore. When does the yoga start? Kind of hungry. Have I had enough caffeine lately? How's my money? Probably going to run out. Everything is always working out for us. Make that the deepest embedded affirmation of your soul, if you'd like. Can I invite you to pray and to ask for the thing most wanted or needed in your life right now? Act as if there's a loving higher power that delights in blessing his kids with their heart's desire. Pray small, get small. Pray big, get big. Now hit send. Send. God's checking his email. He's given your email to a cadre of angels whose job it is to bear thee up in all thy ways. Is this class going anywhere? Okay, kids. All right, let's do joint juice. We'll start with our shoulders because I like crunching them around. Sometimes I feel like a nut and sometimes I don't. So today I'm crunchy. My cat is lurking from every angle from the 6 cat trees I have. I'm going to be jumped on and attacked at any moment. If you do see me get mauled by a 48-pound black mountain puma, I would just sit and I'd get popcorn and watch personally. I mean, it's tragic, but if that's going to happen online, I'm going to watch it. 7, 8. Okay, now, after enough spiritual work, you don't need evidence anymore. What you need is poof, arms out, arms behind your back. And this is where we go poof together. Poof represents spiritual awakening, psychic alteration, what Carl Jung tried to stimulate in his patients a long time ago. Some he could, some he couldn't. Others needed other things. Poof. Some needed yoga. Up your back. 2 more poofs. Well, my cat is losing his S, if you know what I mean right now. He's losing his S. Poof. All right. Now we'll lace our hands and drag our thumbs down the side of our throat. Today's magic word, if you say it, a duck drops down from the rafters. Today's magic word is soothing. Smoothing and soothing. The best of yin. Okay, now just rotate your thumbs around, the things that make other species so damn jealous. Other way. Only humans have thumbs and can build nuclear bombs and toxic waste material. Awesome. I love being human. Okay, now dig your thumbs underneath your jaw. Relax your face into your smushy hands. Massage pleasingly underneath your jawbone. If something accidentally feels good today, it's the 70s and you can do it. It's amazing how much misery I created in the pursuit of fun in the 70s, 80s too, 90s too. Dig in. I had about a 30-year run. How long was yours? Good, hold steady pressure. Good kids. All right. 8 juicy neck rolls. The first one might be kind of crunchy and occluded. Then they'll warm up, and then we're the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz, and Dorothy squirts some WD-40 down our throat. 4, 5, 6. Always a can of oil nearby. 7, Other way, kitty mittens. By the way, if you're new to the channel and I refer to you in a host of cat monikers, it's a compliment. Could say I'm a cat person. I only have one. If I get another one, I could easily go over the edge. 7. Good. Now we relax our head down for 20 seconds and contemplate our navels. Now I invite you to say affirmations in your head. If you can't think of any, I'm a professional, amazing affirmation builder. I went to school for it. We are calm and peaceful souls, confident and my cat's losing his mind, confident and blah, blah, blah. Let's chant Om together. Big inhale, kids. Om. 22 seconds, complete silence and stillness. The kingdom of heaven was spread all about them, but they couldn't see it yet, added in parentheses. Okie dokie. And just a halfway forward fold. We're in a halfway house, so we're just going to come halfway forward. Now, as you get halfway forward, walk your buns back an eighth of the way back. And we're just going to get continually more and more fractionated. Buns an eighth of the way back. We're going to fold halfway forward. Shoulders fully relaxed. Chin drops a third. Be still and know. Standing on the back of a whale, fishing for minnows. Good. Now, from fingertips, elongate your spine. Look forward into your exceedingly, amazingly bright future. If you knew, you'd barely be able to contain the giddiness. Exhale, deepen. Relax your neck. Lose your mind. You can get humans together to do a lot of things. Start revolutions, build canals, make skyscrapers. The hardest thing to get humans together to do is to hold still. It's the one thing. It's harder than herding cats. Come on up. I always had a vision of David in the Bible. He got anointed, but he still had to do a lot of herding before he got the gig. And I always had this vision of him herding cats instead of sheep, because herding sheep is easy, but if you're going to be the king of Israel, you probably had to herd some cats, I suspect. Now, that's what I heard. Hands back here, bottoms up, mild, not a big Saturday gymnastic thing. Just elevate your undercarriage, make your bottom your top, lift up, head back, outhale, and come on down. Now, this is as hard as today's class gets, except for one fair warning. At some point in this very class, we're going to do my least favorite pose. You might like it, but it's super duper good for you. Switch around the cross of your units. Pull back on your hi, how you doings? Hi, how you doing? Don't you just want to say that when you go like this? Now, quarter forward, hips an eighth of the way back, shoulders fully relaxed. Just breathe. We're all breathing the same breath, even the people you hate. God, please take the breath away from the people I don't like. Thank you. Ah, he makes the rain to fall on the just and the unjust. If I were God, I wouldn't, which is why we're glad I'm not. Good from fingertips, long spine, look forward. Exhale, just lean into your life a little more. What an amazing adventure it's been. Let's all fully realize we're exactly on track. Everything that's happened so far is not an accident, it's a perfect orchestration of divine healing for us. We'll inhale up together. Inhale has a natural lifting buoyancy, does it not? We'll inhale, exhale out. And no more evidence. We need a step two. That's a leap of faith, said Ludwig Wittgenstein in the mid 19th century. Poof, he said. Now, he didn't say that. He said leap of faith, but he also said it in Dutch. So, Dutch translated into American is poof. Looks like I have sweat stains underneath my arms. They're little patches sewn in, so no judging me. Lean back on your hands. Lift your bottom up a little bit. Up you go. I've almost completely overcome self-consciousness. There's an occasional molecule of it left inside of me. I'm not allowed to be human. And come on down. Oh, today's class is going swimmingly. Yes, it is. I think that we'll bring our feet together. It's such a big class. There's not only us, but people now from Iceland to Tasmania. They're on opposite sides of the world. Massage the middle center bottom of your foot. Sometimes you go to Icelandia, and if you're from Tasmania, you're called a Tasmaniac. Did you know that? That's literally true. You could look it up. You're a Tasmaniac. That's actually a lie. I shouldn't lie online. Nobody else does. Massage your feet. Almost everything you hear on the interwebs is true. Good. Now push your thumb through your feet. Elongate your spine. Drop your chin. Let's make that beautiful ujjayi breathing. That throaty, allergen infested, crunchy sound at the back of your throat. Thank you, nature. You've completely pollinated me. I'm almost certainly going to bloom. Thank you for pollinating me, we might say. I'm going to lean down into my groinage a little bit, stretch my everything, relax my head. Now we're going into our inner sanctum, enter into the closet, shut the door, pray to your mother/father in peace. Your mother/father will hear and reward thee openly. Next week, I'm doing yoga for atheists, people that don't like all this spiritual crap, and we just talk like molecules and stuff. I think you'll like it. Come on up, kids. Good job. Ooh, I like this pose. This one's a little more challenging for a dude like me. Dudes sometimes don't like this one. Pull heels into bottom. Now, let me check the roster. There's only one guy in class. I wonder who that might be. Holding on for dear life. Float your head up, drop your chin. Be your own main squeeze, kids. Remember, we're not going anywhere. If we could, in brief glimpses, experience being here now, I will have achieved my purpose for living. Hey, I just got a direct message that someone's beloved mate is doing the class as well. Yay. Pretty soon there, as Carl Sagan said, there'll be millions and millions of people in this class. So you're just ahead of the curve, as they say. Millions and millions. Because the world is crying and dying out for conscious contact. Nothing else really works. A couple of Teslas, brand new house, another degree, and still there's this weird hole that can't quite get filled up. You've tried everything. I've tried all of everything. All right, now we should add some hilarity because it's a holiday. We should grab our big toes. Then you got to balance a little bit. Now, my definition of balance, you've heard it before. Balance is the ability to obsess equally in every area of life. And then we're going to do Happy Baby Floating on Coccyx version. This is the bent knee version. This is the one where you click the car seat forward, pull the steering wheel in. Thank God you don't have to do this when you drive. Not many people would get very far, but yogis they'd drive all over town. If you don't like the way I drive to yoga, get the hell off the sidewalk. That's what I say. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that little like down there. There's a saying here, like it whether you like it or not, and subscribe whether you want to or not. I think that's marketing brilliance. Close your eyes. This is the irritated, tedious, waiting for Godot part. Have you ever noticed sometimes life is boring, mundane, and tedious, and yet your spirit is always above it? Good. Now we'll put our left ankle over our right ankle out in front. Try to find the place that hurts the most. You don't often hear a yoga teacher say that, but I say a lot of things that yoga teachers don't say. Just lean over your painful, crunchy ankles. Don't worry, my least favorite pose is coming. Sometimes anytime you watch a movie, it's building up to some sort of crisis, right? If everybody kept all their resources, the whole thing, then nobody would watch. But in all the hero movies, sooner or later the hero loses his superpower, the villain gains dominion, and then the whole story is the regaining of that power or a new one that was better. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, deepen, soften your feet. Oh, it looks like I see a gerbil in one of the computer monitors up there. Big old gerbil. That's a guinea pig. Okay, come on up, kids. Right after this, there'll be some feel-good yin yoga. I think you'll like it. Now I'm going to slink righty over lefty, right where there's no padding, there's no bone, there's no fat. There's no fat anywhere on this body except up here, up here apparently. Come on down, kids. Come down until you feel the edge of existence, the boundary between who you are and who you're becoming. A famous line of world scripture says, if we're painstaking at this phase of our development, painstaking, not painstaking, pains taking. Now everybody's hunching their shoulders because you're all worried about the feeling of this pose. Laxen your shoulders, soften your mind, clear your blood, smooth your breath, wiggle your toes. Anytime two or more gathered in spirit, you accrue glorious benefits. Do yoga, win prizes. Okay, come up out of that horrible thing. How could you do that, Greg? How could you do that to us? All right, now we'll stretch our leggies out. Look how strong and healthy your legs are from years of doing yoga with me, and years more, most importantly. Stretch up. Now, when I first started doing yoga, my arms only came to here. So this is before, and this is after. Now, you might ask, what's after this? I think that's a great question. After this comes levitating. I float up off of the floor. That's just a little later. Before, elbows bent, really crunchy, unhappy, spine rounded back, knees bent, horrible posture, slouching countenance. Inhale. Exhale, after. I'm not going to call it after, I'm going to call it present. Extend up. See the top of the cat tower? Wow. We always hold a little in reserve. Good. Pause down, pause back, feet in. Elevation sensation. Now, in last week's class, my cat was walking underneath me in this pose for like 20 minutes. So I couldn't come down. It was like the 60s and I couldn't come down. I was 8 miles high and I couldn't come down just yet. And stay up and come on down. Wonderful. Okay, now here's an extra super important yin restorative pose. It's called Viparita Karani. We're going to lie on our back and extend our legs up for about a minute without doing any gyrations. If you can't do it, or you can only do it for a few moments, it's okay. You can bring your feet down, but when you do, make sure you hit like and subscribe to the channel. On your back, legs up for about 1 minute. Now you're going to go through Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's 5 stages of acceptance. I can only remember 3 of them because I don't really like them. But anyway, there'll be negotiation, there'll be anger, there'll be hopelessness, there'll be more negotiation, and then there'll be more anger. So there's actually only 3. She was wrong. So many things to think about. Oh my God, there's everything, but just don't. Just stop. But Greg, you don't understand. Worrying is a part of my makeup. By worrying, I make sure that bad things don't happen to me. Okay. You might be worried about how long we're going to do this pose. Now we're going to do Memorial Day splits. We're going to stir our ankles. Uno, due, tre, cuatro, cinco. Other way. 5, 4. Count in your native language. Mine is American, so I can only count 4. And we'll hang our legs out for too long. 10, 9, 8. This is yin yoga, by the way. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees, lift your head so I can see us, you beautiful friends. Again, grab your big toes and full Sunday happy baby. Now, some of you are doing this with your mate or loved one or spouse or significant otter, I like to say, significant otter. If you are, look left and right at them and note the absolutely amusing nature of doing yoga and how it makes everything somewhat less serious. Yogis have a great word. The purpose of the universe is lila, Lila, play. The purpose of the universe is play. Now you might object and say, I could name a lot of events so far in human history that haven't been altogether playful. Maybe that's because humans got in the way. Okay, let's roll up together and stick the dismount like 13-year-old Romanian gymnasts. This is praying with your hands and feet. Sometimes you don't roll all the way up on the first roll, so God gives you a couple more times to give it a go. Clap with your hands and feet. Yay, this is the best class. I'm going to share it with all of my friends. Greg went viral. A lot of people have accused me of being a virus. Okay, now, can we just talk? Here comes a little Joan Rivers. Can we just talk? I'm going to show you the next little sequence. What we need to do is we need to stretch our, I'm talking like Elmer Fudd. I have no idea why. And we're going to stretch our quadriceps. So to do that, we're going to do Setu Bandhu Sarvangasana. Setu Bandhu Sarvangasana. To do that, it's easier than it sounds. We're just going to lie on our back. We're going to lift up like, a couple times, and we're just going to gently stretch the fronts of our body. So I bet you could lay on your back. I bet. Now, if you were an ascetic, you would lay on a bed of nails, but I think that's overdone. Arms down by the side of our body. So we'll just lift up to various counts, okay? The first lift will be to a count of 4. Exhale all the air out. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we know where 4 is, okay? This is Lewis and Clark. They've left St. Louis and now they're roughly to Kansas. Exhale and come on down. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 regular breaths. Don't turn your head in this pose. Now Lewis and Clark, they're going up to Nebraska, okay? Exhale all the air out. Up the Missouri we go. Missouri loves company. Come on up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's getting weird. They don't know where they are. Stretching the front of the body, pushing the boundaries. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They camped by the river for the night. Feet together, knees out to the side. Supta Baddha Konasana. Okay, this time, kids, bring our feet back flat on the floor. Separate them hip distance apart. Today we're going to seventh heaven. Exhale all the air out. And come up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Undiscovered territory, says Shakespeare. 5, 6, 7. Stay up. Makes you stronger. Stretches the front of your body. Lewis and Clark are now they're a little further. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet together, knees butterfly open. This time we grab the elbows, let big bones of our body relax. We've come so far, so fast. Now we're going to run into the Rocky Mountains. It almost killed him. 2 deep breaths from your belly button. If you don't know who Lewis and Clark are, they're 2 songwriters from the early 19th century. Remember, this class is not designed to make sense. Arms down by the side of your body, feet to get on the floor, knees up. This time we're going to 9. We're going to 11. It's spinal tap. Exhale all the air out. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. You've got to be kidding me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Freezing in the snow of the Rockies. They're going to die. They're eating their horses. And then, you know what happens? Sacagawea, a teenage female Indian woman, saves their lives. 11, stay up. How did we repay her and her people? Let's not really go there. Stay up. 11, 10, 9, 8. A history lesson while doing yoga. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet together, grab your elbows. And this is one of my favorite things to say to people. Let's get flat together. Come over to my flat, you might say. So good to do yoga with friends. The present or the future is amazing for us all, but what's the point if right now is not valuable? Because then we'll never get there, kids. Okay, let's get up out of this and let's do the pièce de résistance, the linchpin, the sine qua non of the whole class. Did you have to conjugate Latin in elementary school? I did, because what was being taught was way too boring for a mind like mine. So now we're going to kneel and lay back. Now I know many of you absolutely despise this, but nobody hates it more than I do. Some of you can kneel and lay back with immunity and impunity, but it's such an extraordinarily important pose. You can do it up against the side of your couch, ottoman, up against your spouse if you want. And kneeling might not be your favorite, so please put a lot of stuff behind you because we're going to do it for like 4 minutes. And look what I built. A recliner, 8 bolsters, 9 pillows, 6 blankets, one of those kids bouncy things you see at festivals. That's what's back there. So, because this is for my knee. My knee doesn't bend very much, or it will, but it won't bend back is the problem. So this is Supta Virasana, pathetic version for stiff old men. But you should see me do other things. I am amazing. So you got to build what you can build. You got to be an adventurer. You got to figure out what you can do. It's not what I can do, But let me remind you, since you're a connection between heaven and earth, you conduit, you're a conduit kind of person, 4 minutes. If you don't like it, then like that you don't like it. Thank you, Greg, for exposing what I can't do. Now, believe it or not, no verbiage for 2, 3 minutes. This brings out my inner MacGyver to build it perfectly. Oh, there we go. That hits my sweet spot. That's the Greg spot right there. Now, if you love this pose, you take your arms up over your head and you're just so intergalactically cosmic unicorn happy, and because you never have had a problem with this, and there are people like that. Maybe you're one of those people. Quit worrying about the future. It's already here, and it's, as George Carlin would say, it's not bad. It's not bad. 1 more minute. You can't do it. You can't do it. Now you might be thinking, did the teacher die? Is he dead? No, he liveth. He liveth. Let's sit up. Now we're kneeling. And then almost always what's good after that is catting and cowing. Maybe you're a young, flexible, lithe, fast, juicy person with lots of oil running through your joints. Maybe that's not quite the case, but you can move it a little more, a little better. Oops and downs. Good. And now this is where the elite meet to reestablish a seat together. It's Lewis and Clark. We made it all the way to where'd they end up? Roughly Portland, from what I've heard, mouth of the Columbia River. Then they had to eat fish all winter long. They didn't like that so much. Let's chant Om together. That's a prayer to the universe. Universe comes running to get you. When you had a little toddler, if you saw your toddler in trouble and if they cried out for help, would you go after them in a hurry or would you dawdle? You'd go very quickly, wouldn't you? You think the universe is any less loving? Well, I hadn't thought of it that way. Okay, now it's high noon. Hi. Now, all that's left is a twisty this way and a twisty that way, and then like 8 minutes of Shavasana. Are you willing to go the distance with me? Am I willing to go the distance with me? That's been a question before, but now I am. So bolster in front like this. We're going to do my favorite twist. I think you'll like it. We'll spin our knees over to the left. We'll pull the bolster into our right hip. We'll put our right hand on the bolster to stabilize. We'll fold our knees and ankles behind us in the mermaid pose. We'll pull our heels into our bottom, both hands on the bolster, pushing into the bolster, leaning back, turning to the right. Right hand over here on the floor. Bolster goes to, what's that? That's 1 o'clock. Now my t-shirt, the emblem on my t-shirt is turning to the right. And this is easy version. Come down to your right ear. Spread arms where they feel bestest. And a minute and a half of pose. This is yin yoga. There's no comparison to other people. There's not looking across the room at Bendy Betty or Willy Wally and seeing how flexible they are and demeaning ourselves. We're just where we are. Comparison is the thief of joy. So don't. Good. Stay in the pose. Biggest inhale you can currently do. Big inhale. Big bone releasing out. He'll let go of all that stuff, that thing that happened in the third grade. Ugh. You only have to go to third grade once. We still shouldn't be there. Sleepy times. Okay, bring your hands in. Let's get out of this predicament. Oh, this pose makes me feel like $100. All right, now I'm going to unwind my stuff back here. Going to bring these parts forward. Going to resquare my bolster to noon on my dial. Okay, we squared it up, kids. Okay, I'm going to pet my bolster a little bit. Have you named your bolster? Barney Bolster. Good, now take your knees over to the other direction, which probably is to the right. Now your left hand acts as a flying buttress on this side, like a cathedral. Fold knees and ankles behind. Cross your ankles if you're a willy-wee bendy bear. Both hands on the bolster, push into your fingertips. Lean back, turn left. Left hand on the floor to accelerate twist. Bolster goes shmaybe over to Levandy. Aim this part down, the front parts, and slowly come down to your left ear. You might say something like, ah. Biggest inhale of your whole life, gathering up all the inventory. Big inhale. Exhale, let go of the whole narrative. Okay, we'll pull paw parts in. We'll come out in slow molasses mode. Oh, that is so good for you. That is so good for you. Then various bodily parts come sweeping back around in indeterminate sequence. Now, there was a certain level of crabbiness in the class for the people that wanted to do that 10 minutes of delicious Shavasana, understood by the teacher, but he thought that they should Om one more time. Remember, I do extend the Om out a long way. There's a physiological principle. The longer you can extend your Om, the more calm and confident you grow, and so does your bank account. So, big inhale, kids. Oh, I like a big bank account. Oh, same breath. Oh, I can talk. Oh. Now let's sit in 30 seconds of optimal gratitude, perfectly thankful, grateful, and appreciative for the enormous blessings. Thank you, God, love, source, universe, infinite, higher organizing principle, IHOP for short. Now you might say, well, Greg, I've got nothing to be grateful for. Well, you've got a bolster, you've got a floor, you've got gravity. Imagine life without those three things. No floor, no gravity. So then the kids did 8 minutes of Memorial Day. Oh, oh, yeah, baby. Okay, here we go, kids. I'll be quiet, promise. You guys are the best students ever. Bonus holiday relaxing minutes. You deserve it. Good. Relax more. Enjoy the afterglow. Just giving more time. I know there are things to do on a holiday weekend, picnics, buying major appliances, but give yourself time. Good. Now, here's a Greg ritual from the Church of Greg. If you'd like to invite God, love, source, being, infinite, higher organizing principle, IHOP for short, into yourself, now's a good time. Never convinced or coerced, always from choice. As simple as, come into me, infinite. Now, God loves a good invitation. She's infiltrating you. We might wiggle our fingers and toes and circulate extra super feel God, love, bliss, joy, truth, beauty, abundance, intelligence, wisdom, compassion, innovation through ourselves, creativity. Good, nice deep breath back in your spacesuit. When you're ready at your pace, take time. Take your time. You can curl onto right side. Knit one, curl two. And you know what I say, love all over yourself as you've curled up on your side. There's only one of you in the whole universe, brilliantly and perfectly designed. Good. Now to keep the creamy filling on the inside, we'll keep our eyes closed as we sit up together in combined, conjoined, commingled countenance of higher consciousness. Or as James Brown said, feeling good. Hands into our communal hearts. I go deep into me, you go deep into you, and we come to the same field together. It's quite roomy. And feeling holy, sacred, and reverent, we say, Namaste, Namasunde. Okay, and before I click the recording off, if you're watching on YouTube, can you do some yoga guy a favor? Just hit like and subscribe and share, and let's take peace around the world viral. Thank you so much. And